Hi everyone. Very good evening. Welcome to the 23rd day of Startup September. I hope you've been enjoying the sessions and masterclasses so far. So today we have something very exciting and also super relevant for all you guys, because I know a lot of you are D2C founders as well. So growth and especially through the mobile apps is something very important to you. So thank you for joining in. I think we'll start, Sabya, because I know that there's paucity of time for you as well. So I'd like to introduce Sabyasachi Sahu. He's the Associate Director, Customer Success EU at CleverTap. He's a senior consultant with 6+ years of experience that spans multiple function in product. At CleverTap, he's been responsible for helping clients across Europe, from early stage startups to multi-billion-dollar enterprises, for driving growth. So none other than Sabyasachi. I don't think we can get a better person in terms of experience and knowledge to talk about and to give a masterclass on the power of omni-channel engagement and superpowering growth for mobile apps. So without wasting a lot of time, I'd like to give the stage to Sabyasachi, and over to you.
Thank you, Anya. Really good to be here and really good to meet everyone. I think the best what we can do is straight away jump into the discussion. Whenever you have questions, please feel free to put it in the chat or however we're conducting this forum, and then we can pick it up.
Yeah, I think chat works, and we can either take it up at the end, or if in between you want to just go through it, that's also fine.
Sure, makes sense. In that case, allow me to quickly jump on to the agenda, right? I'm sure all of you would have been briefed about, or you would have been aware about what we are going to discuss. But in today's call, we are going to talk about omni-channel engagement, how to optimize the user engagement, how to increase the engagement, and how to automate all this process using journeys, right? Let's address this using in a stepwise manner. Allow me to jump to the first slide, right? Now, whenever we talk about omni-channel engagement, it is very necessary. It is a necessity, right? That you engage with the user at the right moment using different channels, right? Let's take an example of a travel labs. I'm sure a lot of us haven't used the travel labs for a long time right now, but whenever we start begin using it, there is always a very contextual communication sent to us, right? And first, when you book a ticket, you get a confirmation via email. Then you get certain updates or reminders via push notification. Then again, a confirmation via WhatsApp if we have accepted it, and then by SMS, right? So what they're basically doing is they are engaging with the customer. If we are talking about travel apps as well, there is always a communication via different modes of channels or different channels, right? That's what we are talking about, the omni-channel engagement, wherein you are trying to nudge the user at the right time with the right context with the right channel, right? Wherever the user is present, you kind of pass on the relevant information to the user. Now, be it a travel app, be it an e-commerce app, or be it whatever product you may have, it is essential that you engage with the user with the relevant content, the relevant time. Hence, it is essential that we talk about omni-channel engagement. Now, with respect to CleverTap, when you talk about omni-channel, we have around 12 channels present with us. We have remarketing channels, we have desktop or mobile browser channels, we have app channels, and we have channels outside the app. At the end, we also have something called as server channels. Now these channels, in today's session, we will be briefly touching upon one app channel, that is push notification. We'll talk about email, which is channel outside your app, and we'll also talk about web push note or web pop-ups, right? Now, why are we discussing about these three channels? These are the three primary channels wherein you kind of engage with the user, right? And the one is push notification, the second is email, and third is web pop-up, right? Allow me to quickly switch to our demo account, where you can see what kind of how to create these kind of channels. Now, whenever you open CleverTap as an CleverTap platform, you will be landing on the today section. All you have to do is click on the campaign section and then go to create product to create the campaign section. In this campaign section, you can click on campaign, and this is where all the channels which we just saw are again listed, right? You can see mobile channels, email channels, desktop channels, social channels, remarketing, and partner channels, right? Now, before we jump into the specific use case or this specific segment, that is mobile push, let's take a scenario here, right? So that we can put it across in a better way and understand in a better context, right? Let's take a very simple example of, grofers, or let's take example of Amazon. I'm sure all of us have had stayed at home and had been in the lockdown. We had to order a lot of stuff when we were at home, right? So mobile push channel, that is it. We did get a lot of push notifications. A lot of times they were promotional. A lot of times they were transactional. And a lot of times they were, certain sort of recommendations sent by these e-commerce platforms, right? Now let's take, so if you want to send any such sort of push notification, you can just come here and click. The moment you click here, we provide you an option to segment users on the basis of their past behavior or on the basis of their live action. Now, past behavior segmentation is very simple. That is, I want to target all those users who had seen shoes on Amazon and did not purchase any shoes or did not do any sort of purchase in the last 30 days. Right? I want to target them. In that case, you will use past behavior segmentation. Live user segmentation, a very good example is a cart abandonment, right? For example, I had gone to Amazon, I selected an iPhone, I added the iPhone to the cart, and then I decided, okay, I'm not going to purchase it. That's when Amazon realizes that, okay, no, I need to nudge this user because this user has been purchasing high value orders in the last few months, and he does has the intent to purchase this object, right? And what they will do, they will use inaction within time. That is, if the user performs an action and does not do the subsequent action within a specified time, send them that engagement and or send them a nudge using push notification. That is, hey, Sabi, you have added iPhone to your cart. We have these kind of EMI options. Why don't you go click here and check it out, right? So you can kind of nudge the user in to complete that specific action, right? Now let's proceed and take a very simple example of past behavior, wherein I'm just trying to nudge all those users who had seen shoes and haven't purchased the shoe. We recently got Nike Air Jordan shoes. We want to target all those users who would be interested in these shoes, right? I'll click on one time. We'll have also messaging time, that is multiple dates, or recurring if you want to recur the push notification. I'll click on continue. And let's select cart abandoners in the last 30 days or didn't convert, right? Let's just take any of the saved segments. We can choose to pick up any of the segments which you've already saved in CleverTap, or else you can just click on continue and create your own segment, right here. That is, for example, users who did not do charged in the last 30 days. Charged basically means users who did not purchase in the last 30 days, right? The moment you do that, you're basically segmenting all those users who haven't purchased in the last 30 days, because charged is an action which that user hasn't performed, right? The moment, and then we can click on continue. Now, when we click on continue, this is where the most interesting part comes in, right? You have segmented users. Now, what you need to do is send out an engagement to the user, right? For the sending out an engagement, you can basically select a very simple message that is, hey, user, here is the new launch, right? And you can tell that here is the Nike Air Jordan shoes, right? Right, and which are available at 11,000 rupees, right? You basically tell that they're Nike Air Jordan shoes, which are available 11,000 rupees. Why don't you go and purchase it, right? However, there are a few things which would further nudge the user, because I'm sure whenever we get up in the morning and we switch on our internet, we see multiple messages, right? And all we do is clear all or remove all these messages except for our Gmail or any other image, any other push notification which attracts our attention. Now, if you want to attract the user's attention, the context context of the push notification need to be that relevant. At the same time, you can improve the attraction or improve that push notification using images, right? For iOS, you can add multiple images. right? You can add image carousel, you can add different type of or different variants of that shoe, or you can also add another image in Android, right? So there is different actions which you can do, right? The moment you add these details, it will start showing up here. You can see how they will look, right? And after that, you will select the notification channel. That is, this is for specifically for Android 8 and above. That is because Android has mentioned that you need to define which channel you want to deliver this push notification. You will select that channel and then you will click on continue, right? The moment you do that, you will be taken to the last step of this process, where you can define what is the, if you want to have another control group. Now, I'm sure all of you are aware, the reason we use control group is to have a benchmark mechanism, right? We want to understand, if I wouldn't have sent this engagement to the user, how do they behave? And if I send this engagement, how do they behave? So this gives you a comparison where you can understand user behavior and improve upon your engagement, right? Similarly, we also have something called as time to live. That is, let's say these Air Jordan shoes are limited stock, right? And you want to inform the users, and you also want to send this push notification to all those users who are in existing, who have their internets on. If a user gets this push notification after a day, it doesn't make sense, right? So you can define time to live. You can add labels for this campaign, that this is a reactivation campaign. You can also set up conversion tracking. That is, what is the end goal you want the users to do? Here, the end goal is that we want the users to purchase or at least come back to the platform, right? You can do that here as well. The moment you click on continue, we show you all the details, right? What is happening, what is the content, whom are you sending, when are you sending, and so on, and various other details, right? Once you have done that, you can check it and you can schedule the notification. Now, the use case which we've addressed here is we are trying to reactivate all those users who haven't performed any charged event by giving them an update about a new product which has been launched on the platform, right? Our intent is to make the user come back to the platform or perform an action or perform a conversion event or charge, right? Now, this is one use case which we can address via push notification. Allow me to quickly jump onto another channel, the next channel, which was email, right? Now, when do we use email? Let's switch gear here a bit. Now, again, taking a cue from our work from home situation, I'm sure a lot of us would have thought, why don't I upskill myself? Why don't I do some other course? Why don't I improve my knowledge about certain specific aspect, which will help me further grow in my career? Right. For that, a lot of us went to Udemy, Coursera, or various other courses, right? Now, let's say I have been going to Udemy and I finished certain courses. I'm about to finish a course in another week's time, right? Now, what can Udemy do to retain that user, right? I went to Udemy, I purchased a 450 rupees course, Android development. I'm finishing the course. I'm about to finish the course in another week's time. Now, how can Udemy retain me again? The way Udemy can do that is that they can send me recommendations, right? That is, hey, Sabyasachi, it is really good to see that you're about to finish your course. Here are a few more recommendations wherein you can continue that learning. They can tell me about new Android softwares. They can tell me about why, if you've learned Android, why don't you learn iOS? Or they can also guide me into app marketing and various other aspects, right? There are various other subjects which had a prerequisite of Android learning. They can do that. Basically, nudging the user to do another course. Allow me to repeat the use case here. What we are trying to do is nudge all the users who are about to finish a specific course and send them recommendations about other courses, right? For that, we can use email. The reason we use email is you can provide more content here, right? You can tell that this is the course which is this, which has this, brief information about it, and the image of the course, the link to click on the course, the pricing of the course, and you can provide a lot of information. This much of information cannot be done in push notification, because in push notification you have limited content, right? It is push notifications is basically nudge the user to come back to the app or to the platform and to see and get all the details on the platform. However, if you want to give other informations, collate all the information and send it to the user, email should be a right channel to do that, right? Again, email has similar requirements. That is wherein you can select a campaign type, which we had earlier done that as well. Let's select one time again, right? Allow me to quickly continue, and let's say frequent buyers, right? All those users who have been doing something. In our case, all those users who have been purchasing courses. Continue, and there we have our email editor, right? In our email editor, we already provide you certain predefined templates, which you can just click and use. The moment you do that, you will be taken to our email editor setup. In that email editor setup, you can create the templates. For example, as you can see, you can create, this is the course number 1, 2, and 3. You can drag and drop various components here and create the email. In case you have a team or you yourself are well versed in custom HTML, no, I have my own template, I will design my own template. You can do that as well. You can add a custom HTML template here. If you want to create your own template, you can do that and create as well. You can save it here, right? So CleverTap email editor will give you that functionality, give you that option to create templates, add context, and send it, right? So this is how you can use email as a channel, right? Now, allow me to use to the third channel, which we had spoken about, which is web pop-up, right? Now I'll go back here and I'll scroll down where we have web channels. Now, the use cases we addressed with mobile push was to nudge the user with a specific product update. With email, we were nudging the users who are really active users, and we were trying to tell them that these are the other courses which you can explore, right? Now, coming to web pop-up, right? Let's take an example. That is, you have a job portal, right? Something like LinkedIn. Right? What users have come to your app, your platform, and they're exploring various options. These are free users. What you want to do is you want to ask those users that, hey user, this is an offer for the next 10 days because you are a new user, wherein we are giving you 20% off, right? That is, I go to LinkedIn, I open it, and suddenly I see a pop-up. Here is a 20% off for the first month subscription. If I click on that, basically I convert, because that's what I wanted to know. If I'm getting it in a cheaper rate and you give that information, that's when I convert, right? In those contexts, you can use web pop-up. Again, web pop-up as single action, or it has segmentation based on if I visit a specific page, or if I did so many page count, or if I came from a specific page. Depending on your use case, you can create a web pop-up, right? Let's take, for the example, a single action. That is, user finished their onboarding, or they finished their registration. Now they landed on the registration page or the home page for the first time. So I will say user who did app launched or homepage visit for the first for the first time, show them this pop-up. That is, hey, this is a 20% off. I click over here, wherein we give you various options about the pop-ups or offers. You can use box, banners, or interstitial, and you can create the content over here. Now, again, allow me to add a few more pointers here. When can you use interstitial, right? Interstitial web pop-up can be used whenever you want to give such flash updates that here is a 20% off. You want to completely grab the user's attention, right? A banner can be used in instances where the user is already on the job portal, and you can tell that, hey, here are certain more companies which you might be interested in looking into, right? A box can be all about a specific new feature. Hey Sabi, here is a new feature over here, wherein you can click and explore the relevant job offer or jobs as per your profile, right? Depending on what is the requirement, you can use these different channels, right? So these were the three primary channels we were going to cover. That is mobile push, email, and web pop-up. Allow me to stop for a while and let me check if there are any questions.
Yeah,
So
hi. This
Aditya
is
raised
Aditya.
a-
Sorry.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah. So basically, you talked about the who part, which is like the customers who did certain actions and who did some activity.
Mhm.
Okay. So what I saw was that there were options of like predefined, let's say, actions that a user has done.
Mhm.
What if I want to send this to a specific set of users,
Mhm.
which has, let's say, more granular or more, let's say, number of actions that he has done. Let's say a person who has bought, let's say, this particular item
Mhm.
in past 3 months
Mhm.
and is of this particular geography.
Mhm.
So, multiple
Absolutely,
different.
absolutely. Yeah,
So,
you can do
is
that.
there a way we can have a customized list that we can upload and the messaging goes only to them?
Perfect, Aditya. So allow me to address this question before we move to the next section, because it's similar on similar lines, right? Um, so here we are talking about segmentation, right? Whenever you want to segment users in a better way, it depends on the data you're sending to CleverTap. Let's say you're sending data you're sending to CleverTap is that is whenever user has done a product view of shoes category, and also you're sending the region or location where they are in. Let's say these Nike Air Jordan shoes, which we were talking about, they were released only in Mumbai, right? So what you will do, you will tell me all those users or users who did product viewed shoes in the last 10 days and were in Mumbai, and target them. That way you can engage with these users as well, right? And that is how you can segment on CleverTap depending on the data. However, let's take another scenario which Aditya mentioned, is that you have your own internal list. That is your own algorithm determined that these are the list of 100 users whom you want to target, right? And you should target them because of your own internal algorithm. What you can do is you can use our APIs or custom list segment feature where you can upload a custom list and target them.
Got it. Thank you.
Not a problem. Allow me to proceed, take a cue from Aditya's question and proceed to the next part, right? As Aditya mentioned, is that I want to improve upon my engagement, right? I do not want to pass a generic message or send a generic message to a larger audience base. I want to further improve upon it. That is where you can segment users better. That is, the more data you send to CleverTap, you can do a past behavior segmentation, interest-based segmentation, intent-based segmentation, right? There are various features available on CleverTap which will assist you to address that requirement. However, if you want to further, well, you've already segmented that to the best. If you want to further optimize it, right? If you want to further optimize the content of your engagement, it becomes relevant, right? Whenever you are using contextual engagement to the user, it makes sense. Let's take a very simple example, right? It's Friday afternoon and Friday evening, and you get a push notification. Hey, Sabi, from push notification from Swiggy that, hey, Sabi, here are the top 3 burger joints which you can try. I'm okay. I was about to order a burger and I was craving for a burger because it's Friday evening, and that's the right time. You have engaged me with the right content, right? However, what would further add to it if I had the delicious pictures of all the burgers in the image, in the push notification, right? I'm like, wow, this works well. That's when I'll click on it, right? And it gets all the more tempting if I have more images and more content, right? But the question comes, it's very easy to talk about Swiggy because you can show food, which is very tempting. But in terms of different businesses, how do you define what content is relevant, what content works, what content doesn't work, right? Whenever we want to optimize the content to make it more contextual, that is when you will use A/B testing, right? So allow me to go back to the screen here, right? Let's go ahead in similar action. I will just click on continue and I will take you to the specific what section. Perfect. We are here in the A/B test section. What you basically do is you click on A/B test and you have 2 variants. What you basically want to do, you want to check. Let's take an example that you are a event organization company, right? What you're doing, you're organizing cycling events for Saturday night, that is from in Mumbai, and you're doing organizing cycling events from Worli Sea on the Worli Sea link, right, or around the Worli Sea link. So what you want to do is you want to check, if I send an image of people cycling, will that work? If I send an image of Worli Sea link, will that work? What works the best? In this case, what you will do is you will create 2 variants. You will say Worli, sorry about the spelling, Worli Sea link image, right? Hello. And you will add the image over here, just like how I showed you, right? You will add the notification channel. And then you in the variant B, you will add the cyclist images, right? Now, here also the content you will change, right? And again, you will add the promotional content. Now we have two variants, one variant with cyclist images, the other variant with just the image of the place where you're asking the user to cycle, right? Because allow me to repeat the use case. What we are basically trying to do here is we are trying to check if these users, if the event organization company, what kind of content works the best. If I show the location image works best, or if I show the activity image works best, which works the best, right? You're trying that, you click on continue. Now we give you two options. One is split delivery. That is, you have 100 users, you split it into 50-50. 50 users get variant A, 50 users get variant B. You can do that. Or you can automate this and then you measure which variant was better depending on the clicks and conversions. Or you take A/B test. When you select a certain percentage, that is, we have selected around 10% of users, 5% users will get variant A, 5% of users will get variant B. Whichever variant gets the maximum number of clicks, CleverTap will wait for 45 minutes. You can define a wait time. And then let's say variant B got a more click, that is users are cycling on around the Worley C link, and they're cycling, that is the image. That gets more.
CleverTap जे आहे ना मोठी कंपनी, त्याचा मार्केटिंग डायरेक्टर कसं पुश सगळे वेगवेगळ्या प्रकारचे तुमच्या ऍपचे ऍडव्हर्टायझिंग वेगवेगळ्या चॅनल.
Perfect. Sorry about that. I had to do that. Now, variant B, around 90% of the variant B will be sent to the 90% of the users, right? That is, CleverTap will calculate which variant worked the best, and it will continue. And then you can click on continue. You can define the same exercise all over again. So what I was trying to get here is we are basically optimizing the content. We are trying to understand when the user is, which kind of content works the best, right? Similarly, what we can also do is we can also check, that is, if we can send any contextual images, right? We can send contextual images. If you have sent data to CleverTap, you can say hello. You can pick up the name, add a default value, right? Hey, Sabby, we know that you love burgers, or we know that you enjoy cycling. Here is another tour, right? You can pick up the name. If you pass that information to CleverTap, you can personalize the whole content with it. So you're not only testing out variants, but you're also testing what kind of personalization works for these users the best, right? Apart from that, so now what we have done is we have optimized the engagement using A/B test. Now we also want to do best time to delivery, right? What CleverTap does, we have a feature called best time to deliver, which we calculate depending on a specific action, user action. You can define that action. Now, how is it relevant in this context? It's relevant in this context is, let's go back to the example of Swiggy, right? Wherein I'm getting an update about burgers, right? Hey, Sabby, why don't you order a burger? And here are the top 5 burger joints. If I get that engagement in the morning hours, that is 11 a.m., I'm in the middle of the work. I'm trying to wind up my work. If I get that engagement, it will not make sense at that point in time. High possibility I'll swipe it off, or by evening I would have cleared all my push notifications and I'll not engage. However, if I get that engagement when I'm most active, or when I check Swiggy most of the time, that is between 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., high probability or the propensity of a user to click on it increases. That's what is called best time to deliver, right? It needs to be delivered at the right time. So the more contextual and the more relevant delivery of push notification is, the higher possibility that the users will click. Similarly, you can use our custom email editor or custom HTML and improve the campaign. So this is how you can optimize the campaigns for these users, right? Allow me to move to the next section now, which is about push amplification. So what we have done is we have understood segmentation. We have understood how to improve or optimize the campaign. We have understood when to deliver the push notification as well, or the engagement as well. Now we are coming to a part called push amplification. What is it and why is it required? I'm sure all of you, a lot of us would have seen our colleagues or friends or ourselves used a device, a Chinese OEM device like OnePlus, Redmi, recently on various Android devices as well. In these Android devices, they have a battery optimization feature. What it basically does is that whenever, if let's say I have, Make My Trip app. In the last 9 months, I haven't used Make My Trip. So what it does is that after the initial few days, it sees that, okay, Sabby is not using Make My Trip for a long time. Let's kill all its services, right? Every app has a background service running, which basically renders a push notification. In order to optimize the battery, what my phone will do, it'll kill all the background services of those apps, and in turn, the push notification will not get rendered on my device. Now, this is a common problem for a lot of the Android devices, wherein the battery optimization features kills the background services or deactivates the app from the background. Hence, the user are not able to get the push notification. Now, this is a problem. This in turn brings down the reachability of the user. So earlier, if you had a reachability of 100%, the reachability via push notification reduces to around 60% or 50%, depending on what percentage of users are using Chinese OEM, right? Or what percentage of opted-in users are using Chinese OEM devices. Now, how CleverTap has addressed this requirement is that, as you already know, that what CleverTap does is when we send a regular push notification, we first send the push notification to Firebase or Google or Apple. They in turn deliver the push notification to our devices or to the specific user. In this case, what CleverTap has done, we have built a separate pipeline wherein we will see that if out of 100 Android users, how many users received the push notification. We will get a list of all the users who received the push notification. And then whichever the rest of the users who did not get that push notification, we will send it via our amplification or via our pipeline. That way, we are making sure that the push notification is getting delivered to all these users as well, right? Now, how does it benefit? It has improved. We have seen that a lot of our customers who have used push amplification have opted in, have increased the reachability by 80%, right? We have increased the delivery of push notification. We have increased the delivery by sending it to all devices, right? These are the various numbers which you can see that how it has optimized and improved the reach for push notification for all the opt-in users, right? Before we move in, allow me to quickly pick up the question here. CleverTap can be integrated with a SaaS e-commerce platform. SaaS e-commerce platform. Yes, you can integrate CleverTap with the platform. Perfect. So allow me to quickly brush through it again. You have push notification wherein you nudge the users about specific updates or provide contextual information, use A/B test or personalization to improve that content. Email is something wherein you want to give them a lot of information, right? Let's say there is a Premier League app. You want to tell me all about Manchester United, Liverpool, or various other football teams. Or you want to give me information about the various courses. We also have web pop-up where you can give the information about specific offers or offs, various other options, right? Similarly, you can use optimization to improve, use A/B test to optimize or improve the content, make it more contextual, use best time delivery to deliver the engagement the right time so that the user engages it better. At the end, we have email editor as well, where you can use drag and drop to create or customize the email as and when you want it, right? At the end, there is an industry-wide issue where because of Chinese devices battery optimization feature, the push notifications are not getting delivered, which has affected the reach. How CleverTap has tackled this problem is by creating our own feature called push amplification, which amplifies the delivery of the push notification for the users, wherein we deliver the push notifications. And here are the various numbers which we have noticed from our various customers who are using it, right? In this context, allow me to move into the next section, which is called the journeys. I'll cover this section, then we'll have last 10 minutes where we can address and discuss various questions. Now, coming back to journeys, why do you want to use it, right? As a platform, you will have various use cases. You will have use cases like I want to onboard a user, right? Let's take an example of fintech platform. I'm Paytm. I have a KYC flow. That is, a user has to give their names, Aadhaar card details, then we approve it, then we check it, and then the user has an account, right? In this instance, if you are creating, that is, you're creating if you want to engage or nudge the user to finish the different steps, what you will do, you'll create one campaign where you're telling the users, hey user, upload your Aadhaar card details. Second campaign where you tell the user, hey user, you've uploaded Aadhaar card details, why don't you add your bank details? Then third step, hey user, you have uploaded your Aadhaar card and bank details, but you haven't added your email ID and rest of the contact details. Why don't you add all these steps, right? So there are multiple engagement steps which gets a very manual process when you try to nudge the users via different channels or multiple campaigns. It's difficult to create, it's difficult to monitor, and you also do not have a sight about the end goal, how many users converted or how many users at the end finish the KYC. In this step is where you automate this whole process. If you have a objective like I want to increase the number of users who finish the KYC, that's your objective or that's your end goal, you can do that using journeys, wherein you do not have to create multiple campaigns again and again. You can create one journey wherein you can address this use case by having multiple nodes or multiple engagement channels and address and make sure that the user completes the step, right? Allow me to quickly switch screen again and show you where you can create journeys, right? You can come here to the dashboard and you can click on the journeys section. And here is some example, right? Where you can improve the onboarding or you're trying to improve the KYC steps. What we provide you here is we provide you segmentation section wherein you can drag and drop the action. That is, as soon as the user installs the app. So I dragged an action. As soon as the user installs the app, show them an app. That is, hey Sabi, welcome to Paytm, right? Hey user, welcome to Paytm. We have these features. You can pay electricity bill, car bill, this, that, and so on and so forth, right? You basically educating the user to perform about the app or functionalities of the app, right? After that, what you basically want to do is basically you want to nudge the user through the KYC process. In that case, you can add various engagement channels, like add a push notification and keep sending the push notification on a regular basis. You can even send an email. You can even send a SMS, right? Depending on your use case, you can just drag and drop these channels. You can click over here and add the content. You can add the content, what content you want to do, and you can just set up the flow. As soon as the user has viewed this thing, viewed this node, send them a push notification, right? Like this, send them a push notification. As soon as the user has viewed this, wait for a day and send them a push notification. That is, hey Sabi, here is the content. You have finished step 1 of your KYC. Why don't you finish step 2? Similarly, you can drag and drop this and keep sending the engagement, and you can add the wait period as well. At the end, what our objective is, that is, we want to check if the user has finished the KYC process or not. So if you're passing an event called KYC completed, the user will exit the journey, right? Basically, what we're trying to do is nudge the user to finish the KYC steps. If the user has finished all the KYC steps, the user will automatically exit the state, right? Let's say there are two users. There's Sabyasachi and there is Siddharth. Right? Siddharth, what he does is that after he gets the first push notification, he's like, oh, KYC add karna hai. He goes to the app, adds all the details, and finishes the complete KYC steps in day 1 itself. And there is a second user like me who hasn't finished the KYC steps because of various other reasons, right? What I need is I need another push, and then I need a third push on the third day. And then I finish the step, and that's when I exit the journey. So the reason adding a goal is necessary because different users will behave in different manner. Some users will finish the steps. So if Siddharth was sent a push notification even after completing the steps, that is, hey Siddharth, why don't you finish your KYC? But Siddharth has already finished his KYC. So that engagement does not become correct, it becomes incorrect, right? Hence, adding a goal assesses you or helps you to exit the user, right? So this is how a journey as a feature used. We have various training documents around journeys. You can just click here and explore the journey documents. We have videos also available in our video section or training upskill section, where you can check how journeys are and you can improve upon that. Now, once you've created a journey, how you can what kind of results do you see? You can, so this is already a created journey, which you can see is that the moment you create, we show you node-wise data. That is, you sent this push notification. In this push notification, how many users met the goal or converted, right? You send this, how many, you send another push notification. Out of this, how many users converted, right? We give you node-wise data. We also give you a journey stats wherein we show you as compared to how many users converted and as compared to control group, how many users have boosted or performed, right? You can see the target group conversion, control group conversion. This way, you can understand and improve upon journeys and what can be done, what cannot be done, what should not be done, and keep improving upon the various use cases. So summing it all up again, journey can be used to automate your engagement process for a specific objective or specific goal. For example, onboarding users, reactivation of users, or getting feedback of users. I'm sure all of you would have heard about Duolingo as an app. What they basically do is that you can go to the app and learn various languages, right? Let's say you're using the app and you uninstall the app. The moment you uninstall the app, you start getting emails. Hey, Sabi, thank you so much for being with us, but it will be great if you get us a feedback, right? They nudge the user after the user is uninstalled to get feedback. And then they continue sharing few more information about, hey, Sabi, these are a few more languages which we have recently added. If you're interested, please join, and so on and so forth. They nudge the user for after the user is uninstalled for another 2 or 3 times, and then they stop. However, what they're making sure is even if the user has churned, there is a possibility that if we nudge the user better, he might come back, he or she might come back, right? So that was about journeys, right? Allow me to quickly pick the questions, right? Is it just push notification, or we can trigger emails and SMS as well? Yes, you can do that. Puran already answered that. Even if you want to send, so trigger, just to address that, how can you do that? As you remember, I had shown the live action campaigns wherein you can select a specific user event. That is, as soon as the user does, let's say, registration completed, KYC completed, or charged for the first time, or purchased for the first time, or booking for the first time, you can send them an engagement or nudge, right? So this can be done on similar lines. Any other questions? Tanushi, Vanya, I think I'll hand it over to you guys.
Thanks, Sabi. I think if there are no questions, then we're good to go. In case we have any more questions, please feel free to unmute yourself and go ahead. We'll just wait for a minute.
Sure.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, Krishna, we can.
Yes. So Sabya, it was a good presentation. Thank you very much. My question is, if it is a startup, probably we are engaging about visitors, about 2,000 visitors to the website. What will be the approximate budget in terms of the CleverTap, subscription, or maybe the service charges?
Perfect. So Krishna, we have all the details available on CleverTap's pricing website, pricing web page. You can just go to CleverTap and click on the pricing section. We have all the pricing details available over there, so you can check it out. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you very much. So now, we are a B2B company. I'm from Malaysia, actually. I'm from India, but what could be the best approach? Example is we may have about 1,000 customers which they want to run the CleverTap in this kind of a B2B approach. So if such kind of a collaboration or rather partnerships to be explored, to whom I have to contact?
You can, we also have sales@clevertap.com. That's an email ID wherein you can reach out to our sales folks. Our marketing team as well is very active, wherein if you have any questions or requirement, you can just put it up on our CleverTap website as well, and they will assist you. all these contractual or any such requirements.
Okay, thank you very much. So yeah, thank you.
Hello, Sabya. Nikita here. We have an app to promote cycling. I saw you use that as an example.
Yes.
We have crossed 10,000 users yesterday across 800 cities, but we haven't integrated anything yet. And I had a CleverTap subscription, but just not able to understand where to start from, So where should we start from? And how do we go about, and like what kind of resources should, I can create journeys and all, but for execution and all, what kind of team should be there to execute it, and how much engagement should be done at this stage, so that users also don't feel that it's
Yes,
too
overwhelmed.
much. And you mentioned so many 9 or 13 channels, and I don't think it is possible to use all the channels. So what would be the initial ones where we should focus, and what should be the thing to start for? I think that
Sure.
could help.
So just wanted to understand there, Nikita, your app, do you have an app or website? What kind of, where all?
It is an app, Android and iOS both. Not website is not there. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. In that case, this is how actually most of our customers we recommend. What we generally recommend is that every business has a specific KPI. In your case, what I understand will be users booking those events, right? If there's an event in, let's say, in Delhi or in Mumbai or in Bangalore, you will tell that this is the event on this specific day, and you will tell it to those users, right?
We are rewarding people for all the cycling they are doing. So we have rewards like free and discounted rewards. So we are checking their purchase and everything.
Okay.
So actually that kind of behavior.
Perfect. In that case, you can just, in that case, one of the most important features which you can use it in apps, that is as soon as user comes to the app, right? Cycling cities, you can share all the information. That is, hey, this is how it is. You can give them certain contextual information. That is, you're basically onboarding them or educating them how to use the app. Secondly, now this is the part where you welcome the user. After that, once you've welcomed the user, what you can use is you can use push notifications to nudge all the users who haven't logged into the app or haven't logged in their activities. So for workout, I use NoiseFit, and they have their own app. What it does is that if 2 days I haven't logged in that I cycled or jogged this much, they kind of send me a push notification. Hey, Sabby, why don't you log your activities, and so on and so forth. So they kind of nudge me back to come back to the apps, because your app basically becomes that on a weekly basis, a cyclist will cycle, and depending on the user's activity,
right,
I can nudge them. This is one way. I think push and in-app would be your primary engagement channels. And here you can leverage and improve upon retention of the users as well.
Right. So in-app is in a way the push notification inside the app, or how is it in-app in terms of banners or anything, or how is it?
Yes, it's you can say that it's a banner. If you have used certain apps wherein the moment you log into the app, you get on the screen a whole image where you say this is what it is, this is what it is, various other details. You can kind of get that over there, right?
Okay, and then you link it to certain page in the app.
Yes, you can do that as well. If you just want to share information, you can do that. If you want the users to go to specific page, that is, hey, Sabby, here, you can fill in your details, or you can add your goals. That is, your goals is that I want to cycle 100 kilometers in the next 20 days. You can set your goal by clicking here. So I click here, I'm taken to that page, and I fill in all my details. So basically, in your case, requirement will be to add all the details. That is, my name is Sabby, my age is this, these are my targets. So adding the targets might be the requirement, what I'm assuming, but I think you can utilize, leverage these features and for the start through CleverTap.
Email and SMS, we can keep it for later.
Yes, you can use email as well. What I would suggest email is that it can be a less frequent engagement, wherein you can tell the user that is, hey, Sabby, this is where you rank. That is, all over India, we have cyclists. They have done so many kilometers. You have ranked this much, and various other details you can share there as well. So whenever you want to send more information, you can use emails as well. SMS, you can use depending on your requirement, because SMS is mostly information about updates and various other things. I'm not sure how will it fit for your business, but yeah, it's up to you. Yeah.
So sending personalized informations would require a lot of coding and all. I believe that integration. Why we are not able to do it yet is because we heard that it takes a month to integrate CleverTap. So I'm like, okay, I need to set aside a budget for at least integrating it, and then after that, how much would it cost? Would be too heavy.
So I think what our customers do is the setting up part is a one-time exercise. Hence, what we recommend is that we ask them to have all your details. That is, this is my objective. These are my KPIs. This is my North Star metrics, and these are the events and user properties we'll be sending, or the data points we'll be sending. Once that is defined, once that is mapped well, that's basically a one-time setup. So even if it takes around 20 days or 30 days, you can, once that setup is done, you can just go to CleverTap, create all these campaigns and leave it. Right? It becomes completely automated after that.
Right. Great. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nikita.
Guys, we have 2 minutes. We can have one last question before we let Sabby go.
Perfect.
Awesome. Then, I mean, thank you so much, Sabby, for joining us and giving such an insightful, having this entire presentation with so many examples for us to relate with. So thank you so much. And thank you everyone for joining in as well.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.